What's important to understand about a computer program is that it's a manuscript. If you've got a package, it actually comes from a manuscript, a written word, a definition of the steps that, if that computer follows those steps, will carry out the functions that the program has been intended to do. And a package is made just the same way. It's from a manuscript. But can you imagine how complicated these manuscripts become? Because there's stories, and they have storylines through them. And when you have options in a package, which they all have, then in fact you take different storylines. And then those storylines become complicated as you move through the story, and options further down the story depend upon options that were exercised earlier in the story. So in other words, if you've been through a paragraph where Aunt Nellie dies, then you can't have later in the story Aunt Nellie visiting the children's Christmas party. And when that happens, your package doesn't work correctly. It's configured wrongly. They left the Aunt Nellie visiting the children's Christmas party option on. They forgot to turn it off. And so if you could imagine a novel with all of these different paragraphs and sentences, some of which you'll read, some of which you won't read, depending upon what options you've got and how your package is configured. And it's all in one manuscript. The story for everyone, with every option, with every variation of the package, and their manuscript, like going through and being marked up with Word, becomes their program. It's a horrendous problem. It's extraordinarily difficult to engineer new technology, and it's extraordinarily expensive. It is much easier to simply have the story. Let's say your manuscript, your copy of the story, and then if you want to make a change, we can simply go in and add the paragraph, add the sentence. It will work. We don't have to worry about anyone else's story. It's just your manuscript. It's a difference in cost which at the low end is a tenth, typically is 100th, and quite commonly 1,000th of the cost of trying to modify a package with all its thousands of variations and stories to do the same thing.